She pivots on the bank, a massive coil of muscle and fury.
The air turns heavy with the metallic scent of wet fur and looming death as the sun begins to dip below the horizon. For the Tigress, every second of delay is a gamble she can't afford to lose. Her 4 cubs are weak, their energy spent from a long trek, and the lush hunting grounds on the far bank feel like a mirage across this stretch of stagnant water. She paces the bank, her paws sinking into the slick mud. She's looking for a ripple that shouldn't be there, a shadow that moves against the flow. The river looks calm, but she knows it is a lie. She waits. The silence is agonizing. 10 feet out, the only things visible are small, jagged knots of wood, or so they seem. But those knots have pupils. They are the armored nostrils and unblinking eyes of crocodiles that haven't eaten in weeks. They are patient. They have all the time in the world, and they know she is desperate. Finally, the hunger of the cubs outweighs her caution. She lets out a soft, huffing breath, a signal to stay close, and slips into the water. The transition from land to river is chilling. The murky depths swallow her golden coat, and suddenly, her greatest weapons, her speed, and her power are neutralized by the weight of the current. The cubs follow, their small heads bobbing like corks. They are halfway across when the water pressure shifts. It's not a wave, it's a lurch from below. The Tigress feels the vibration first. She lets out a deep, guttural snarl that vibrates through the very water surrounding the cubs. Her muscles coil, her claws unsheathing under the surface. Then, the river literally tears open. A prehistoric shape launches upward, jaws snapping with the force of a hydraulic press. The Tigress doesn't retreat. She throws herself at the monster. It's a chaotic blur of orange fur and moss-colored scales. She strikes blindly into the foam, her paws finding the hard, leathery hide of the crocodile. She isn't trying to win a fight. She is trying to be a shield. But the river is the crocodile's kingdom. In the churn of the water, a smaller cub is separated. The price has been paid. The crocodile rolls, a violent, rhythmic thrashing that breaks both bone and spirit. There is no rescue. There is only survival for those who remain. The Tigress doesn't look back again. She can't. She surges forward, her massive shoulders, halving as she breaks the surface tension, her lungs burning. She reaches the mud of the far bank and immediately turns. Let out a raw, broken roar to guide the remaining cubs. But the river is the crocodile's kingdom. Just as the led cubs approach solid ground, a second strike comes swift, silent, and right beneath the mother's flank.
It snatches a second cub right from under the mother's flank.
The Tigress spins, her eyes wide with a frantic primal terror, but the water has already turned a dark, blooming crimson. Behind her, the crocodile briefly displays its prize before retreating into the depths, leaving nothing but bubbles and a hollow silence behind. She stands on the shore, defeated. She sits by the river's edge, her frame shaking with a mix of pure frustration and fractured panic. She watches the surface with eyes full of sorrow, waiting for a miracle the river refuses to give back. Then, grief turns into a violent hunger for revenge. She sees it, a jagged shadow emerging from the reeds. This is the moment she was waiting for. As the crocodile glides into the shallow light, she launches herself back into the deadly spray. Her eyes are fixed on the scaly neck of the killer. She is a coil of fury. She strikes with a bitterness that defies logic, her jaws snapping and gripping, refusing to let go. To lose this fight is to let the river win twice. She tightens her grip, shifting her weight to pin the monster. But the river remains the crocodile's domain. With a massive, muscular heave, the reptile flips its body, slick and powerful, sliding clear of her reach. From the murky depths beneath, another prehistoric shadow rises. The odds have shifted. The tigress realizes she cannot fight the river itself. She retreats, panting and bloodied, back to the two remaining cubs. She reunites with them, nuzzling their cold fur, letting them know the immediate danger is over. Crocodiles are patient, intelligent, and built for long survival. In their world, stillness is strategy. And the river always belongs to the one who waits the longest. They were ruling rivers before dinosaurs ever took their first breath. Crocodiles are ancient. We're talking over 200 million years of evolution. Their ancestors appeared in the time of the early reptiles, and while the world changed, continents shifted, and species vanished, crocodiles stayed. They adapted. That's why they're often called living fossils, not because they stopped evolving, but because their body design was already close to perfect for survival. A crocodile's biography is written in armor and patience. Thick, bony plates under their skin act like natural shields. Their eyes, ears, and nostrils sit high on their heads so they can stay almost fully submerged while watching everything. And their bite force is one of the strongest in the animal kingdom. Once those jaws clamp down, escape is almost impossible. But here's what makes them truly special. They have pressure sensors along their jaws that can detect the slightest ripple in the water. They can feel movement you can't even see. They also have a 4-chambered heart, rare among reptiles, which allows them to control oxygen efficiently and stay underwater for over an hour when resting. That is control. Day-to-day life is a mix of stillness and sudden violence. Crocodiles spend hours basking in the sun to regulate body temperature. They drift quietly in rivers, lakes, and swamps, conserving energy. They are ambush predators. They wait and wait, then explode with shocking speed. Crocodiles are mostly solitary hunters, but they tolerate others in good feeding areas. In rare cases, they even coordinate loosely when large prey is involved. It's not teamwork like wolves, it's more shared opportunity. Crocodile mothers are surprisingly attentive. They guard nests fiercely. When the babies hatch, she gently carries them in her mouth to the water. That same jaw built to crush bone can move with incredible care. They can also climb low trees, gallop short distances on land, and some species use tools. Yes, tools. They've been observed balancing sticks on their snouts to lure nesting birds during breeding season.